Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about CTRM. So first of all, I'm going to be doing a 1 month, 1 day kind of analysis. Then I'm going to move to the 1 hour interval. And then what I'm going to be doing is going to go through the company news, the current financials, and what would my play be for the stock. So first things first, you get to look into here. Of course, they did have an offering today. At that point, the averages are going to be a little bit messed up in that way. Average directional index will be messed up unless we look into the 1 hour interval, and MACD is still considered recovering, but we need to look into the 1 hour interval. In terms of unbalanced volume, you get to see that there's a massive kind of dump today that happened in terms of shares, which is understandable since it's as well another offering happen here. The William percent R seems to be currently oversold, so that's a little bit of a good news. The stock price though has been trading under the 200 SMA for quite a bit, including as well the 50 SMA. So we're going to be looking here into the 5 days 1 hour perspective. You get to see that the stock in terms of MACD seems to have actually gone a little bit into a continuous level of downtrend during the day, but it seems to have been recovering a little bit into the aftermarket. In terms of the momentum here, you get to see that the stock has had way bottom momentum, so that could be a little bit of good news for us in terms of if it picks up again, because I don't see it to be continuing to be lower than this. In William percent R, you get to see that the stock price has been oversold for quite a bit, and with the current positive direction, you get to see that the stock average directional index went from around 21 or 22 to around 29 or 28.81, which shows a beginning of a trend that could be possible for towards a positive one. Now, in terms of averages and whatnot, the 10 SMA is under the 30 EMA, although the stock price is getting really close to the trading action zone where reversals are likely. The current supports for this stock is sitting in, for this one, no current, well, you can actually assume that there's a current support happening at 0.25, and another one at 0.21, just based on previous actions, and I'll show that in a second. But the current resistance is seeming to be around 0.28, and then following that is going to be around I believe 32, and then 0.34, and I'm going to show you here on a bigger chart in a minute. So first, I'm going to be doing the moving averages here quickly. So that's the moving average band. You get to see that it has actually been trading under that band, and it can possibly see a little bit of an increase later on, very similar to what we've seen here, for instance. And this here is the Fibonacci retracement that I took from around 0.83 to down to 0.21. Now, I'm not going to give very much concern about the 0.21 because that could be a something as simple as 20 or few shares that actually, or one transaction that went around 0.21. Now, what we might actually see, previously they did have an offering somewhere around here, and it actually did raise for quite a bit back to 0.47. Now, their offering price was at 0.35 previously, and it did run to 0.47. The current offering price for this stock is sitting at, I'll double check here in a second with you guys, at 0.30. It's trading at 0.27, so I see this one perhaps going up to 0.30, and we're going to have to confirm that in a little. In terms of different kind of indications and patterns, there's nothing much to look at here. I mean, this could be an upside down cup, but nothing significant at all that I'll actually be able to point out and tell you with significance that this is what's actually happening. The RSI seems to be oversold at this point. Moving on to company kind of news, you get to see the 17.3 million registered direct offering that was published today that actually decreased the price. Now, there is a 0.35 per share exercise price for the warrants, although the current unit is sold at 0.30. They do have approximately around 58 million new shares putting in on the stock. With a low float, this is heavy dilution in my opinion. Going in towards why they're actually been doing this, so there's been actually some management changes or management decisions that have been done recently. So they announced a new charter agreement. It's a little bit of a read here, but they're trying to get the gross hire rate of 10,300 10,300 per day. 10,300 per day. The charter agreement has an expected term of minimum 3 months and up to maximum 5 months, and is expected to commence after the vessel delivery to the company sometime between 5th and the 25th of August. So there might be actually some PR around there. As a result of charter agreement, the company gross revenue is expected to increase by 0.9 million based on the minimum scheduled period of the time charter could be approximately 1.6 million should employment to extend its maximum period. Another thing that I've heard, probably why they're raising money as well, is their recent acquisition for the 4th vessel that is actually going to happen here sometime very soon. It's going to be $7.85 million from an affiliated third-party vessel and is going to be delivered by the end of August. The previous offering, which I actually mentioned, it was actually released to be around, I believe, 18 million here, and then they actually the prices, the end actual money coming out of it was 20.7 million an underwritten public offering. Did a public and then they did a direct one. It was a little bit weird. I did always think that direct would come in before offering, but kind of expected. Sorry, actually, it's not weird. Usually you do public before direct. You want to give direct a little bit cheaper price. So there's a little bit more dilution here, around 51.4 million, with additional of 7.7 million common shares. Going in quickly, you get to see here that that's their actual current fleets in that point. In terms of, I'll actually tracked it here. I'll give it to you in a second. You get to see that their probable annual general meeting somewhere around 2019. Sorry, October, and the last one was around 2019. In terms of their actual board of directors, there's seems to be only around 3 people on it. One of them is a secretary, the other one audit committee chairman, so it's mainly just an audit committee. And you get to see that basically their founder, chairman, and CFO and CEO are all in the same person. So might not be very lot. Well, they might have their hands a little bit full. 2020 to 2019, you get to see that they have increased a little bit. Sorry, that's in the 3 quarters. In the 3 months on the quarter, they have increased their current total liabilities and shareholder equity, and their net cash flow, so net cash provided in terms of activity, is actually positive. But they have around perhaps some kind of liability of around 40 million, which is almost equivalent to what they've raised. So that may be one of the things that they're actually trying to do right now. Same thing, information here in terms of growth from 2019 year ended to 2018, although they did have a little bit of change between 2018 and 2019. You need to add this one to that one here. So it seems to have a slight increase in 2019. Now the current vessels, this one is actually not docked, it's actually moving, so that's good news in that sense. This one is actually moving as well, and this one just reached its destination. Engine is still moving, and it's still actually, yeah, it's moving. So not a lot to see in terms of this one here, although how would I play it? Now I would understand that this probably price would come in around 0.25. That's the shortest it dipped. It will probably climb at least to somewhere around 0.3. Now, even though that's a small price, there is a chance for the stock to do this, to do the kind of movements towards uptrend. Now, am I going to be playing it? I'll have to really watch the pre-market in terms of that. It could be that some investors might actually get scared from the idea of a reverse split that might happen, or another offering, or a bit of dilution. So there's a little bit of risk into this game, but I see it if you're holding very short term, this can be something profitable. Thank you very much. What do you think about this stock? Make sure you mention it down in the comment below. Share, subscribe, and like, and you have a wonderful day.